I'm Gloucester Township Mayor Dave Mayer, and welcome to our final episode in this series of the Gloucester Township Small Business Assistance Education Program. Joining us today, we have legendary Eagle Ron Jaworski. We appreciate him joining us as a business person in Gloucester Township and in our area. You know better than I the difficulties that businesses have had over the last 2 years. How have you and your team coped with the COVID crisis?
First of all, Dave, it's great to be with you, and thank you very much for your tremendous leadership in Gloucester Township. Because in difficult times, that's when leadership comes to the forefront, and you have done that. So us business community leaders know that if we don't have a guy at the top that understands what we're dealing with, it's very hard to overcome the obstacles in our way. So thank you very much. And I could think back to probably mid-March, about 2 years ago, 2020, when the pandemic began. And quite honestly, it was devastating. It was devastating to me, my family, my coworkers. We had to lay off close to 400 people within my golf company, and many of those at Valleybrook in Gloucester Township. It was a very difficult time because these were key employees. They were hardworking people. They were people that, worked to put food on the table. It wasn't some people that were wealthy. They needed that check every single week. And it was very, very difficult. And what made it more difficult was the fact that none of us knew what the future was going to hold. None of us. It was you get up in the morning and we came up with the word pivot. How are we going to pivot today? What do we have to do? We kept in touch with the government agencies. We kept in touch with other golf courses in the area. And it was the only communication we really had that could kind of give us some solace to the direction we were going, is to get some answers. And along the way, mistakes were made because no one knew what was going on. The pandemic was very, very difficult to analyze from a government, from a medical standpoint. No one really knew what was going on. But during that 41-day period, Dave, I can tell you we were closed and we were shut down. As you know, Valleybrook was closed. It was government ordered to be closed. I mean, and within my golf company, we lost about $6.1 million in income. And quite honestly, during that time, I didn't know if not only were we going to survive as a business, but I was going to survive as a business operator. It was a very challenging time, Dave.
Oh, yeah, Ron. I mean, I can't even imagine that. And you're right. It was mid-March of 2020. Municipal hall shut down and people worked from home, and, just no one knew the future. Let me ask you this, as we've been through this and now we're, of course, getting out of it and getting back to some sense of normalcy. Is there anything that you would recommend to small business folks to prepare for the future, as we get out of this and hopefully their businesses flourish? Any advice for small businesses there?
Yeah, I think I've always been about team. And as an NFL quarterback for 17 years, the quarterback is the guy in a position where you need a team around him to be successful. And even during that difficult time when we were closed for that 41 days, I mean, I was staying in constant communication with my team, my general managers, my superintendents. We did leave the golf course maintenance part of our company working because we kind of felt that, we were going to get through it. We didn't know how long it would be, but when the golfers came back, unfortunately, golf has boomed. I mean, it's boomed since we reopened after the pandemic because you go outside. It was the greatest place to be. You were social distanced by acres. You had a lot of land. So when we opened, I mean, golf just took off. And quite honestly, we made a right decision. There were some golf courses in our region that literally shut everything down, shut the golf course operation down, didn't cut the grass, didn't cut the greens, and it became almost a wasteland. But we kept on a normal maintenance schedule. We kept some of our employees on to cut the grass, do the fertilizers, do the aerification, all the things that are necessary to have a terrific golf course. So that decision at the time, we just didn't know, but ended up being probably the best decision we made throughout the pandemic, was to keep our grounds crews on, keep them working, and keep our golf course in great condition. So I led, but I can tell you this, my wife, my son, every morning, that was our first meeting. What are we going to do today? How are we going to pivot today? And how are we going to lead today? And my wife came up with a great idea. We're doing this Zoom now. 2 years ago, I didn't know what a Zoom was, Dave. Didn't know what it was, man. And we started Zooming to all our employees and keeping them up to date and let them know what was going on. That the minute the governor says you can open, we're going to open. Now, I thought, I'm being not politically correct here, but I just want to say what I thought. I thought we waited too long to open, but that's my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I think we could have opened quicker at a different level, but hey, that's water over the dam. But right now, the future of golf looks good. In fact, it looks great. Play is up 30% in golf, and a lot of it is women. 25% of the golfers now around the country are women. I'm seeing young kids, African Americans, Asians. I mean, there's a boom in golfer now because it's safe.
Ron, certainly you're invested in Gloucester Township, but as a very successful business person, you've expanded your businesses in our region. Can you tell us a little bit about those businesses?
Yeah, and actually now, Mayor, we're in kind of a growth process right now. There are opportunities I continue to look at because 22 years ago when I bought Valley Brook, along with my business partner Dennis Riley, who people are very familiar with in Gloucester Township, we decided to expand the business. And since then, I've acquired 4 other golf courses in South Jersey: Bramblewood, Blue Heron Pines, Riverwinds, and Running Deer, 2 courses in Pennsylvania, Downingtown Country Club, and Honey Run Golf Club out in Newark. So I have 7 golf courses. And the big thing, people just look at, maybe they hear golf course, but it's a bigger operation, much like Valley Brook. We have a sports bar, so very popular with the golfers. We have a restaurant, very, very popular with diners. This year we're going to do over 550 weddings at our venue. So you can see that it's a major part of what we do. So, totally, we're going to do about $28 million in business. So it's not just a simple little golf course operation. It's highly sophisticated. You need great people, you need great advisors, and you need great working relationships with the townships that we're in. And all those things mean success. And as I'm saying that, I'm knocking on wood as I say that, Mayor, and I hope we'll have great success. But it's a big company with a lot of people.
Well, Ron, you will have great success, believe me. Thanks for investing in people and creating those jobs. And that's just so important.
Dave, I'm glad you mentioned that is so important. Many of the people in Valley Brook are Gloucester Township residents. They're the same people that are earning their living working at Valley Brook, but they're spending money at the grocery store, the cleaners, they're buying their car locally. Also, we all have to work together to be successful. And part of Valley Brook that makes me most proud is we're fueling the economy. We're giving people a better way to make a good living, a better way to raise their family. All those things are very, very positive for our community.
Ron, you've lived this storm as a business owner, and I'm sure there are many lessons that you've learned. Can you talk to us about what those lessons are?
Yeah, there were many lessons that were learned, and I'll go back to the key word I always said: pivot. It was like every day during the pandemic, you had to pivot because you couldn't see the future. You were living day to day because that's how fluid everything was. No one knew what was going to happen. Some good things came out of it, and it was actually some good things that surprised me. The golf course owners in New Jersey, we developed kind of our own lobby group. And people looked at us as maybe, I'm competing with other courses. They're competing with Jaworski courses. That wasn't the case. To survive, we all needed to work together. We needed to lobby for our position up in Trenton. We needed to have communication with the governor in his office, explaining what we needed to survive. We felt we understood it, but the governor's office really didn't understand the golf business. I didn't expect them to. There are other bigger, more important things that they had on their mind. But we, as our lobby group, felt that we had to let them know we needed help as well. It wasn't just all the other box stores and all that we seem to be getting the help, but we needed to let the government know we needed some help. So we made it through that 41-day period. And quite honestly, the federal government with the PPP money was absolutely huge. I'm still to this day very thankful for that. And I think every business operator is very thankful for the federal government to get that PPP money, because when we did open, funds were very short. Funds were low. We lost a lot of income. Like I said a moment ago, 6.1 million in income over that period. So that's a lot. But the PPP really helped us out. So that I'm thankful for. And for the most part, I thought the government agencies did a good job of supporting the business community.
Yeah, Ron, stability is key, right? In a business perspective, a government perspective, you need stability. And during this crisis, as you mentioned, it was very unsecure. It was unknown, and I don't know how you can plan for a business under those circumstances. But you did a great job, and I know the federal government certainly helped get us through that.
Yeah.
In some ways.
Dave, there really wasn't a playbook for it. I think that if you look at the big picture, there was no playbook, not only in the golf restaurant business, in any business, there was no playbook. So I think looking to the future, if we're ever hit with a pandemic again or something of that nature, I think, we have a little history that, we could rely on how to deal with it, how to handle it, and it will help us down the future. I pray to God we never get in that situation again. But I think, we have a little bit of a playbook now moving forward.
In that playbook, is there a Philly special?
Yeah. We got to get to that Super Bowl first.
That's right. Well,
I like that.
Thanks, Ron. Again, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
You bet, Mayor. Thank you.
Welcome to the final episode, and remember, if you have any questions, you can submit them on the Gloucester Township website. You can also schedule a one-on-one training session to help your specific business for a limited time. First, I want to talk about some super affordable grassroots marketing ideas you can implement to your business. Everyone visits your business, no matter if they buy or not. They can potentially follow up with you on social media, receive your messaging on an ongoing basis. A simple thing like a postcard that asks people to follow you on social media works. Even asking them to join the conversation will get you followers. So hand it to people with their receipt. If they're in the store shopping, hand them a social card. It's okay. Make the connection while they're there. You can easily create a QR code that drives them to your website or your social media pages, or even give users the option to add you to their phone. What else can you do? Ask people to leave you a 5-star Facebook or Google review. Ask. They're customers. Don't be shy. Tell them it helps your business or it helps you build your searchability online. People understand that, and they'll be glad to help you if they've had a good experience with your business. Customers who like what you're doing will do this. Even if it's 1 in 10 that does it, that's way more than you're getting by not asking. And your reviews will begin to build. Same with posts. If you're selling something that people can post while using it, ask them to. You can put a sticker on your packing to tag you in a selfie using the product. For anything, pizza, haircuts, home decor, like anything at all. Posts and referrals will grow. Ask them. If you don't ask, no one will do it. You can hold a customer event at your business, offer specials for your social media followers only, partner with other businesses that are local to yours and one in which your services support each other, donate products or time to community events. There's more cost here, but you're doing good for the community, and that has quite a few benefits as well. Google grassroots marketing and see what fits your business. There are many free resources for small businesses out there. Now let's look at some of the results and data, and we'll look at the ads first. So go to Ad Center on Facebook. You'll get a quick overview of your ad and the results of how it's going. You can track how much you've spent, the number of clicks to the destination you chose, the cost per click, how many people you've reached, and there's so much more here. Look into this information. It'll give you an understanding of who you reached with your ad. This can also help you as you place more ads and understanding what target audience is clicking on your ads, so you can tweak the audience when you run it again and be more effective and efficient. I suggest adding this info to a spreadsheet so you can track all of your results in one place. While we're here on Facebook, let's go back to your page and look at insights. This is also on the left. There we go, more data. This time you can compare things from the previous quarter or last year. You can look at your page's overall results, the results of your regular posts and paid and promoted ads. You can keep track of everything that has to do with Facebook and Instagram in this one place. You can see each of the posts you've made and the engagement for each one. Why is that important? Well, you can see what interests your followers and do a little more of that and a little less of what's not connecting. Now, if you have access to your website or a webmaster, get your website's analytics. Based on the analytics package you have, you'll get more data, and that's good stuff too. If you don't have access to them, set them up on your account. Remember, Google Analytics are free to set up on your website. For website analytics, cross-reference your website's numbers with those referred from your social and other ad sources. You can drill down to the towns that visitors accessed your site from, along with breaking down gender and age specifics. You can also see what pages they viewed, what sources they came from to get to your site, and what pages they visited while they were at your site. Even what pages they left when they were at your site, how long they were on your site, and just so much more data. I suggest adding this information to your spreadsheet too. You'll be able to see trends and patterns, having all that data together, compare it to see what's going on and what's driving the most engaged users to your website. The power you have in getting close to real-time data and changing your tactics when you see trends is pretty amazing. Just think about how this data from just 3 sources can help you refine what you're doing in marketing your business. Use it, refine your messaging, tweak your ads, tweak your post. You should see positive results in engagement, website views, and most importantly, search results when customers Google your business. Not just your company's URL, but your social media outlets as well. With everything set up and in sync, all of these other outlets will push up as your website pushes up. What that really means is that the more outlets you have in a Google search, let's say on the first 3 pages, the less your competitors can be there, because there's only a certain amount per page. And if you have your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and website there, and they weren't there before, that's 4 other searches that don't show up earlier in search results. That's good for you. If you have questions, submit them on the Gloucester Township webpage and we'll get you answers. Remember, you can schedule one-on-one sessions if you feel like you need some help. Don't feel overwhelmed. Try to do it following the series. It does make it very simple to do. Don't worry if you're not a computer person. Just take your time, think about the process, and follow it. It's pretty straightforward. Good luck with things. And remember, if you have questions, just ask.